but then I changed the lyrics, and because I can't remember what the actual lyrics are, but I changed the lyrics to like be the math that we were doing. Like repeating decimals are great. Fractions are better though. They're more accurate.
Whole new math lesson.
There actually was a time when they called math new math, so we could do that. Hey guys, check before I move on. And some of you, I'm waiting to try to get your plan books out, but it's over there, so I can move on. Like even if your plan book is still out and getting filled in, I shouldn't have to walk around and check everyone's plan books, but some of you that is gonna need to happen, I guess. So like I'm watching those of you that aren't filling your plan books, and like Caleb, I'm suspicious. Is your plan book filled in? Okay.
Oh my god.
So is 211 and 212 out? I guess if I'm gonna proper grammar. Do you have graph paper out?
Yes, always.
Do you have your homework goal setting form? And you could, if you want, have out your notes from last week. That's just if you want the reference point of having them out. You were gone, weren't you? You should have it from last week unless you missed class. Notice how it says 212. You should have it. So go check your math binder. If you're sure you don't have it, then you can have another copy. Hey, so what we're checking right now, what should be on top is 211. So as I move around, I'm like, see you guys? We should be looking at 211. Hey, you are right now doing two things. Okay, and we're about to check your homework, so really a third thing probably. But on your 211, at the top, where you are used to me writing check, check minus, or check plus, what you are going to do, give me your eyes, those of you who are not listening, turn on your ears. What you are going to do is you're going to give yourself a 0, a 1, or a 2, and it's going to get written here in the box that says score. If you don't have this, I can get you this too, but I think you were here this day because we gave this out earlier in the week. This is the same number that you put right here. Okay, and as I come around, I'm going to write down in my notes what you gave yourself. So remember, you get a 2 if you completely tried everything. You put in 100% effort. Does not mean your answers are right. You get a 1 if it was about half effort, right? Between half and full effort. You get a 0 if it's less than half effort. And if you are frantically doing your homework right now, that does not count. This means what you did ahead of time. Be honest with yourself. If you're frantically finishing right now, you do not deserve a 2. Right? If you are frantically finished. Now, if you frantically finished on the bus this morning, sure. Great. If you frantically finished out in the family room before classes started, seriously, good work. But doing it right now when you show up to class is the wrong strategy. So, give yourself a 0, 1, or 2. This is for you. Right? It's for you to keep track of how well am I doing at holding myself accountable to do what I need to do on time. And then, let's check our answers. If you are wrong and you cannot figure out, at all why you're wrong, that's when you want to ask me, wait, can we go over that problem? So guys, I should be able to look at the top corner of 211 and see what number you gave yourself. The goal setting form? Probably your classmates. Somebody probably stabbed with it. So guys, as I walk around, I should be able to look at the top of your 211 and see what you gave yourself. That does not matter for the grade. You don't need right answers, right? So you should have a 0, 1, or a 2 written down right now.
Hey,
on your 211 and on your goal setting form, right? That number goes both places. Sweet. You guys are actually the beginning of the alphabet for me, so it makes it easier. So then if you don't have it done, you should be working on it right now, because otherwise you're just sitting here doing nothing. So what are you giving yourself? Oh, I see it on that paper.
I'm gonna write it on this paper.
So you write it up there by effort, right? On the effort line. I think you were still getting stuff out, but those are my directions. And guys, if you're starting with like a 0 or a 1, that's okay. It means we goofed up, but guess what? It's the beginning. We can do better. Make sure we're checking our answers right. So guys, we're not just sitting here staring and waiting. Well, unless somebody's ready to scroll on, and then you can even ask me, hey, can I go scroll? So was it that you didn't understand that this was not multiple choice, or do we not know how to do this one? Okay. So you don't actually have to go use CPM. It just like you can explore the situation by using CPM. Remember, when we write probabilities, all of these should be fractions. So it's normally like something out of something. So that might be why you're slightly like, that should just be over 50.
Oh.
And like that should be over 50, right? So like, I'll just go ahead and change all those to make sure that they're right now. Guys, if your answer does not line up with the answer that they have up there, like, you're welcome to ask about it or change it. Like, if your answer wasn't right, that's okay. So what do we give ourselves? Okay. So we should probably set some goals to improve, right? Yeah, you guys have had this since last like Wednesday or Thursday. So if I'm being honest, you have more time on this homework than you normally do. So what are we giving ourselves up there? What do you mean out of what? Have you been awake and alive and in here while I was giving all of my directions at the beginning of class? Is it the reason you didn't have this done? Did you remember that it was due? Like, or did we forget that it was due? Okay. See, and that's like, we just got to use our plan book. We got to set better goals. Gage still out today? Or at least maybe, depending on what class he's able to go to. So guys, again, it's okay if you goofed up. What's not okay is to like be fine. If you are here with like a 1 or a 0 and you're just like, whatever. Like, that's not the Phoenix mindset, right? Like, so if you got a 0 or a 1, you're definitely at 50% or 0%. That's not great, right? Because whatever you just gave yourself, and I'll take questions here in a second, whatever you just gave yourself, that is also the number that you're going to put here for now, and then we divide it by the total points that we could have had. So we need to put a percentage here right now, which is either going to be 100 or 50% or 0%. If you forgot about it, you're not staying organized. And like, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. You can do better. But what that does mean is if we had the quiz that we're going to have on Friday, frog in my throat. If we have the quiz that we're going to have on Friday, if we had it today instead, you probably wouldn't be ready for it because you didn't practice. So somebody in the first class got a little snarky with me saying, quiz, I can't do this yet. I said, exactly, yet. And guess how you get over that hump of not being able to do something? You practice it. Not even like, I'll be honest, I don't know how we study math. I genuinely, I think the only way to learn it is do it. Or, I could read math all day long. that doesn't mean I can do it, right? We have to practice. So you're right, the general idea of study, but in math, like you gotta do it. There's no just like reading it. There's no just watching a YouTube video. Like you gotta do it. So guys, if you didn't try this practice on your own, please don't copy it down right now. That won't help you learn if you can do it or not. You can always come back and look at the answers in the video or on my answer key. Does anybody have questions about these problems? Aside from, let's finish checking the back. So give me a second. Let's check the back, and then I'll take more questions. So check the other problems that you couldn't see yet. The diamond problems. What was the pattern that we were supposed to figure out with those? Yeah, go ahead.
What was, I think it was.
Oh, I know what it is.
So the two numbers
He's
on.
talking.
So the two numbers on the side, if you add them together, the equal number on the bottom. And then I think, and then if you add yeah, and if you times the numbers on the side, then you get the top.
Yeah, thanks, Grace. Yeah, if you times the numbers, you get the top. And thank you, Liam. If you William, if you add the numbers, you get the bottom. Right? So if you did not figure out that pattern on your own, that's what it is. Multiply, get the top, add them, get the bottom. Ooh, how poignant. I'm giving back that feedback as we give ourselves the rating that we gave ourselves for today, because it doesn't look like we're putting in as much effort as we could. Isaac?
For the first problem on the homework, did you like have to write 10 tenths? Did you have to write the tenths part, or did you just have it like 10 over 10?
Oh, let me guess. That question was how many tenths in a whole? So, I mean, as long as it made sense to you what you wrote, mainly we're practicing for ourselves. But like, so I wrote 1 equals 10 tenths, 1 equals 1,000 thousandths, 1 equals any number over itself. Right? That's like if you went and looked at my answer key, right? That's what you would see. Other questions about the homework? Aside from why didn't I remember to do it? You guys, those of you that ride the bus, like you can do math on the bus. I mean, unless you get motion sick. Maybe not on your bike. That's dangerous. I heard you almost crashed on, or was it you? Somebody said somebody almost went down on their bike, and I was like, well, I know Emily rides.
No, that's not me.
Okay, good.
I ride with perfection.
Ooh.
But also I had a
Question.
question. And that rhymes. So for 2 to 11 for C, I got 12 over 50.
You fell in the trap.
Oh yeah.
What's the trap, Grace?
The 12 was. Wait, hold on. The 12 is the multiple of 4 and not the multiple.
Not the multiple? Yeah, you said it perfectly. It just sounds fun. We need the not multiple of 4. So, Emily, what you calculated was how many multiples of 4, which is also what I accidentally left on my paper. So my answer key is technically wrong. This actually should be 38 50ths. Because this was how many multiples of 4 there are. My mistake. And guys, this is why we check our homework, right? If you had 12 50ths, you did the same thing as me. Because I was probably sitting in an airport distracted. So the actual not multiples is 38 over 50. It would actually be 30. But guys, that mistake is like, in my mind, that's a silly mistake. Like, you had the right answer, essentially. You just forgot to put the other answer. Technically, it was wrong. But essentially, it was right.
According to the answer sheet, I was pretty darn correct.
All right, if that's done, like, and it's ready to turn in, you can go ahead and turn it in if you need more time or whatever else. If you got a watch, like, I'm really debating. If you didn't get a 2, guys, I need to talk with Mr. Hall about how he does this. I don't know if I'm going to keep collecting your homeworks or just look at them as I walk around. I don't plan on doing much with them, so I don't know if I actually need them or not. No, I mean, I walked around and I looked at all your guys' work already, and I wrote down what you gave yourself. Yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to do anything with those papers. I might just give them back to you.
Oh, can you help me on feet?
Of which one? 2.9. Ah, so in 2.9, we have the improper fraction of 30/20ths. So if we're trying to convert that into another fraction before we convert to a decimal, we know getting to 100 will then let me say that many hundredths, but this is improper, so it'd really be 1 and 50 hundredths. And then I drew a little picture here for Mario and his dog. Silly dog. Yes.
Where's the picture? I did 24.
Overachiever. That's good, but like I just didn't want to try that hard. I just drew approximately what I figured it would look like. Guys, all because I'm a teacher doesn't mean I want to put in more effort than I need to. Reminder, these are on your paper, but if we don't do them together, that's fine, right? At this point, what I need you to have out is your graph paper. 212 can stay out if you want, but if you're secretly working on it, I'm going to tell you to put it away. So if you can't resist working on it, maybe just like slip it under a binder or something. In your little bin here, you either have 2 half sheets or 4 half sheets, depending on if the morning people did not write on theirs. You are welcome to keep these or recycle them at the end of the lesson. But, okay, hold up. Guys, once you get step 1 of directions, you should wait for steps 2 and whatever else before you follow it. So, if there are 2 sets, you can each have a set and you can just work on these if you want. If there are not enough for the people at your tables, you should definitely write this stuff on graph paper. So here's what we're going to do. On the ones that are decimals, you're going to convert them into their appropriate fraction. And you can talk with each other and remember, oh, how do I say this properly? Because saying 0.19 is not saying that properly. To say this properly, it involves saying 19 something. So then, after you do all the decimal to fraction, then, guys, do one at a time, and Max, stop working ahead. Then, do your fraction into decimal. If you need help, fraction into decimal, you may use your calculator. Questions? Yes.
You just turn them into.
The other thing. If it's a decimal, make it a fraction. If it's a fraction, make it a decimal. Guys, these are not the same. These are not the same. Not only do they look different, but they literally are not the same numbers. Do not think I gave you the same numbers 2 different ways. That is not what happened. So there's enough here. You can each have a set. There might actually be extra. So there's fraction decimal. There's fraction decimal.
Are we allowed to use calculators?
Yeah, but they won't really help you get from decimal into fraction. They'll really only help the other way. Unless you know that certain button. No, here's an extra. Well, yeah, but here you can each have a set. So there's a set for you. Here's a set for you and a set for you. Grab one from up there. Probably means another bin has 2 calculators by accident right now. There's a set. I know I need another set because I got more. I think we're just missing a few people and now we have extras. Or do you need a set? Yeah, because you guys both want both. Oh, you can, if you're gonna write on this half sheet and like keep that, then yeah, go ahead. But you might want to hole punch them or get a page protector if you're gonna keep these. So, for example, thank you for volunteering, Charlotte. If you are given this decimal, we're asked to convert to its equal fraction. And then I think they say, like, with your calculator, check it. So, like, A. What would A turn into, Charlotte, as a fraction? Or can you just read the decimal properly? Yeah, 19 hundredths, and literally saying the decimal correctly tells us the fraction. If you need a reminder of decimal places, your notes I gave you last week at the top right corner have a reminder of tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and then there's space for you to write more. So for our second one here, and I'll probably give you another couple minutes before we move on to the next thing. Liam, you want to tell me what B turns into as a fraction? Totally fine. You want to do it live, or you want to skip you? Sammy, you want to do B? Okay, so it sounds like we probably need a tiny bit more time. But Lucy, go ahead and do B, then I'll give more time.
Turn into a fraction?
Yes.
Okay, so what you would do is,
Go ahead.
oh, can I just say the fraction?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's 391 over 999.
Yeah, because if we over 999,
999.
I don't think so.
I mean, whoa.
Because this doesn't repeat.
I mean 100.
I don't think it's over 100 because it goes 1, 2, 3 decimal places.
Or you could do 39.1 over 100.
But that's not a proper way to write a fraction. We do not mix decimals into fractions unless we have to. Caleb? Yeah, guys, this is why I wanted to do a couple together real quick. These are not repeating. They're just normal. They're just regular old terminating decimals. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? Other people. Can you what? If you're asking about rounding, you can always round, but then it's not accurate.
I know. I'm just thinking out loud here, but couldn't you technically round, like for example, 0.1? If you had enough of repeating ones, it could eventually equal a better place.
With the fractions, can you round?
Yeah,
I do not know exactly. You keep trailing off the end of your sentence, and
like
I
a
keep
bunch
losing.
of ones.
Okay. Like 1/10,
0.1,
then 100th, and 1,000th, 1/10,000.
Yeah, and then just keep going like all the way until infinity. Would you eventually be able to round up to a bigger number if you had all those ones?
Because that number isn't getting bigger. So this is an interesting like thought
It's
experiment.
getting smaller, not bigger.
No, it's staying the same size. 1/9 is 0.11111, right? But like we talked about, if we make these Egyptian fractions, this is 1/10, right? Then the next one is 1/100th. The next one is 1/1000th, right? So this is this one, but like 1/9 is all of these fractions. So sorry, 1,000th, then 1/10,000th, and we keep adding these smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. But we have to have all of these to equal 1/9, or to equal 0.1 repeating. So as we write it out, it's not getting bigger. We're just looking at more of it. Does that make sense? It's like pi. If I write out pi equals 3.141592, I wrote a 2 instead of a
You
9.
guys know pi?
Yeah.
It's delicious. Pi is the size it is, regardless of how many of these decimal places I write. Right. All right, going back. Wait, Sammy, did I already call on you? Xavier, what about C?
1/1000.
Yeah, it is in that third decimal place. It is 1/1000. Guys, double check if you knew that one. Third decimal place. Emily, what about D?
Hold on. Okay. So that would be. I'm so sorry.
No, sorry, Charlotte was about to answer for you. I did call on you. 19.
Yeah, I'm brain dead right now.
You're
so,
good. You don't even have to answer yours. But if you want to, how many decimal places does this use?
It uses 3, so that would be hundredths,
Tenths, hundredths,
thousands.
thousandths.
I'm sorry.
Quit apologizing. Unless you're going to apologize for apologizing. And even then, stop apologizing. Liam. Liam, what is E?
E is
3/10. And F, max?
Ooh, F is 524 over 1,000.
I feel like I should say yes, mate.
I didn't even write that down. I just saw it.
Alright, if you have not done these yet, do these. Yes. A thing here? Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Trust me. It's probably the thing I'm hoping that you figure out. Nope, but I bet Bianca could. Or I bet if you look that way, Sammy could, or that way, Emily could, or this way, Mason could. But Bianca should probably be the first person you turn to. And you guys do have calculators.
Yeah, but it's repeating decimal.
What do you mean? I thought what I gave you on the paper is a fraction. And isn't a fraction division?
You're trying to put it into a decimal.
Correct. So, if you type in 19 divided by 99, see what happens.
Wait, why are you doing that?
Because every fraction is really a division. So we can check it. So, remember, we're trying to turn this into a decimal. What you're trying to do right now is an equivalent fraction. What I think you're remembering is what we did last week, where we did the like times 10 or times 100 or these different things for dealing with the converting. But that was for us to do it manually. Now we can use the calculator to help us, and actually we're about to discover a little trick. So we hit enter there, and remember, don't trust the last number because your calculator's stupid and it wants to lie to you.
It's a lie. It's all a lie.
Now, is it just me, or does anyone else think about like Frankenstein when we're saying it's a lie, but like it's alive? You understand everything, like the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah, our connections teacher made it clear that all of it's fake.
Oh, by the way, for any of my D&D people in here, or really any tabletop games, be careful when ordering dice. My friends that I luckily got to see over the weekend, because Otterbein had their homecoming just like Ohio State did, my friend's wife was getting mad at him because he would not choose what to eat for dinner. Like, they made a meal plan, and, you know, there were these options, and she was like, fine, whatever, I'll order dice, and we can use dice to determine dinner. She thought she was ordering one pack. Well, thanks to the glory that is Amazon,
Oh my god, can I have one?
we have a lot of classroom dice that we can now, as we get into probability, so no, I cannot just give these away to you, but as we get into probability, we've got some sweet dice to play with now.
Ate like half of mine.
What?
And then pooped them out.
Oh, your dog did? Did you clean them?
Dice anymore. And it was like the most important dice in the game.
Well, just clean them off. Poop dice are still dice. Actually, you gotta make sure they still roll. There's no remaining poop particles to change the weight. Like, Emily's totally just in her own world. I'm still talking about her poopy dice.
I'm mad.
I know, same. Isa, can you tell me what 1999ths turns into as a decimal?
Yeah, it's 0.391 repeating.
Careful, you typed it in your calculator backwards. So remember, 19, thank you for that reminder though. I could not have planned that even better. 19 over 99.
Oh, I did the wrong question. I thought we were doing B.
Any fraction is a division. Yeah, so either you might have typed it in. Yeah, no, you're right. Because if you typed in A backwards, you would have gotten a bigger answer than what you just said. So yeah, you gave me B. But this turns into 0.1.
You said B.
919. Sorry if I said B. It's just I'm distracted by poop dice. Sorry. So 19, 19, 19. Is there a 2 out here? No. Your calculator's stupid. Sorry. So Isa, I'll come back to you. I'll give you another chance since I goofed it up. What does B turn into?
0.39.
I 0.391 repeating. Lucy, what about C? C.
What's the hardest thing to put?
0.3 repeating. Lucy's like, is this a trick? This feels E-word. William, what about D?
D would be
I like your shirt, by the way. I just noticed that.
thanks. 0.001. So that would
Wait.
be one.
Huh?
0 point, but I only see one on top. Where?
Well, because so what I figured out is that on the bottom, like that's how many places you should go for the decimals. So like for example, that would be one over 999, but that would be actually 0.001, so 1,000.
Now, here's the funny thing. Literally, your card came up. So William asked me like, "Hey, wait, I think I figured something out," and I was like, "Bzz, hang on to it." Right? Because a lot of times, if you figure something out quicker than the class, I'm just gonna like try to squish it back down for a moment. Say like, just keep the lid on it, right? Just kind of like shut the lid. Like we'll look at it in a moment. So you said the say it again.
So like the denominator has there's like three numbers. So like that's how much you should put on the decimal after the 0 point. So 0.001.
Oh.
There's 3 nines on the bottom.
So there were 3 nines in the bottom. So wait, look at this, guys. 2 nines in the bottom. How many digits did we repeat?
Is that a coincidence?
2.
Oh, 2.
3 nines on the bottom. How many digits did we repeat?
3.
3. 1 9 on bottom. How many digits did we repeat?
1.
1. 3 nines. Grab your calculator. If you don't trust this, type 1 divided by 999.
Yeah.
It should come out to be 0.001001. And then you start sounding like you're singing in binary. 001001001.
Are you singing that Pirates of the Caribbean? I was about to say that.
So wait. So hold on. Without using your calculator, how many numbers should E repeat? 3. Do we have 3 numbers? Yeah. 5, 2, 4. So 5, 2, 4. Grab those 3. Hold on. In E, how many digits, Bianca? How many digits? Sorry, not E. In F, how many digits should we repeat? 3. So what is this going to become? Where do I put the extra digit? Do you know, Bianca, or you want to pass it off? You want to pass it to Mason? Mason?
You put it in front of the one.
Always in front. Because, hey, is 19 the same as 019?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
You can tell when you're absolutely not listening and just waiting for me to stop talking. It's real obvious, because that was a obvious question. Is 19 the same as 190? No. So a 0 here is not the same number, but a 0 there is. So we make this 019, 019, and repeat all 3 of those. Questions?
No.
So I know some of you are thinking back to Friday at our Dr. Van Schmohawk video, where we looked at this in our notes and we took notes on it. And some of you might be thinking, like, why couldn't we just memorize the rule? Because that's not how I work.
Because you said memorizing books when you first said
And memorization can fail you. But now that we've talked about it, now that we understand it, you can tell yourself that something that has 9s on, but let's do another practice. All right, so here's my address.
What?
Yeah.
Want to do my address?
I think it's fun because it's 11s, right? It's 2 11s and 3 11s. So there's my address. What if I put? I know that's what I'm not telling you. For all you know, it could be in Coshocton because that's where I'm from originally. No, I do not live in Coshocton.
I was like, what? You would be able to.
Take a moment. Compare what you write down with what your neighbor writes down. What does this turn into? How do you know? 2233 over 999,999.
I know. Can I answer?
Maybe if your card comes up.
Wrong.
All right. Shane, you want to talk us through this?
So there's 2 numbers less than the denominator, so it would add 2 zeros to the front.
Yeah, so another way to say this is there are 6 nines. We're going to need to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we cannot change 22, 33. So if we put zeros after it, that makes a difference. So Shane said we're going to put zeros in front of it because it does not change anything. And this will become 0.000223, all repeated.
But the calculator.
What? Did you type in 2233 divided by 9999? You put decimal. That's a comma up there. Sorry, that is a comma.
Oh!
To just show, guys, this, hey, because that's important to talk about. This is not a decimal. We never, on purpose, put decimals in fractions. That's what we call a complex fraction.
Wait, you can actually do that?
You can, but it's not good. So, the fraction you had in your homework, 30 over 20, I could write that as 1.5 over 1, but that's not nice. What is better is 3 over 2. These are equal, but this is called a complex fraction. We don't like those.
Do we ever learn this?
I mean, we'll have to deal with those a little bit this year. There's really no avoiding it.
Can I go back?
Yes, but I think we're almost out of time, so we are out of time. So guys, it's time to pack up and head out to lunch. Hey, there is no new homework due tomorrow. Get 212 done for Wednesday. Right? Tell yourself it's due tomorrow and get it done. Just do it tonight. You can keep it, you can recycle it. All right, 212's due tomorrow.
Yeah, you can do it.
Tell yourself 212 is due tomorrow.
I want lighting phone.
Keep them, recycle them. I don't care. I'm done with them. Yeah, do you want to keep them? Stick them in a sheet protector, hole punch them, recycle them, whatever. I think this is my favorite set with the like blue and orange. These are pretty sweet.